All right, trying this again. So I had to play around and see what was going on with my USB. Make sure I'm actually broadcasting. All right, trying this. There we go. Okay. Because I'm using a USB hub, USB 3 hub, or at least I thought it was a USB 3 hub. And my wireless mouse is plugged into it as well as my camera. And apparently, the two, for whatever reason, was causing the mouse to get all jerky. And that was not working out very well. So I seem to have resolved that issue. So back to the Jinja template. So one of the things I need to do is I'm going to build this piece by piece. And the nice thing about when you generate a configuration, at least with the EOS, is you can generate different parts of the configuration and then kind of glue them together, and they don't have to be in the same order they show up when you do a show run. So I should be able to do it this way. So I got some for loops, some if statements, and then I'm going to get rid of this part here. And this part here. And this part here. And this part here. So it should pull the information and build this out. This is just to build the underlay part. So the point-to-point connections, in this case, they will be numbered because this is the numbered one. The leaves aren't going to appear with each other, which they normally would if I was doing MLAG. It's one of the reasons why I like all active now, is because I don't have to do MLAG and I don't have to peer between the leaves in the MLAG domain. Let's drink some tea. Doing a mostly dry month. Otherwise I'd be... Well, I tried drinking wine when I was doing one of these things and didn't work out too well because my patience got really low. So if I got frustrated for even the littlest thing, I was like, I'm done. I don't want to do this anymore. So, okay, so I need a build script for this. So I'm going to do Sutton templates. So I need a playbook called build test YAML, and so we're just going to take this, copy it. So it's going to load up. I need it to load up what variables? This one. So it'd be fabric, EBGP, EBGP, AA.yaml. So this one it's got all the information I need. And then load up the template that I just made, which is underlay EBGP underscore AA, and then do EBGP configs. Do I want to put it in? Yeah, I want to put it into its own directory. So yeah, I want to do, oh, this was much better. But I just need to do a test, so I need to So in that directory, it'll be underlay EBGP all active. Yeah, there we go. So let's see if it builds without with an error. So what I'm taking, so my problem is I've got all these different templates and they're mostly repeating each other. So I'm attempting to modularize this so that I can, like, if I want to do an underlay BGP template that just builds an underlay that's numbered and then another one that does unnumbered for BGP. Rather than having all this repeating stuff, because if I update one, then I have to figure out what else I have to update. So so that didn't appear to do anything. My inventory, got that. Did it actually build any configs? No, because I didn't. What did I do when I make directory configs, underlay EBGP all active? Oh, I did. There it is. But there's nothing in there. So the source was the underlay BGP EBGP all active J2. That was the source, the destination. I got the vars right, I think. So vars was fabric EBGP all active. That should contain all the information in there. So why didn't that not work? So I did build test. Oh, I didn't do tasks. There we go. That was weird. Okay. Devices is undefined. So vars file, so it should be under this one. So it was in there, and I should have loaded it. So vars files. Oh, there is. Oh, it's HER. There we go. All right, now I built some configs. It didn't error out, which is good. So that's what I wanted. It worked out pretty well. All right, so that's, well, that was simple. I thought I was going to have to debug that a lot more. It's nice when things just kind of work nice. So I want to do the same thing, except I want to do EVPN unnumbered. So this part replaces this part. So there's no IP address, just the MTU. and IPv6 enabled because we need a we need to configure an IPv6 address in there. Loopbacks are the same, and then for BGP, it's kind of the same thing. It's eBGP. Except that unnumbered. Open this up to the side here. I need these two lines. So they'll go in there. I do need a peer filter. Copy that. And then this part right here, just basically cut and paste. And then replace all this part. Copy. All right, don't need that. All right, we'll try this. I don't need any of that. And so that should be good there. All right, so I'm going to rename this build test. I need to load the unnumbered. So fabric HER parse files. Fabric AU. So load up those variables. And then I need to make configs underlay eBGP unnumbered all active. All right, didn't like something, devices. Oh, so this device is undefined. One of the things I'm kind of annoyed with Ansible, or maybe it's Jinja, is that it didn't give me an error that it didn't find whatever this file was. It just kept on going. It just continued, and then the devices is undefined. So it's in one of these files. I just didn't reference it right. Oh, yeah, because I did that there. All right, so that built. So let's see what I got. IPv6 enable, loopback, IPv6 routing. I've got the peer filter. I don't need the peer filter if I am a leaf. I only need it if I'm a spine. So I need to change that. Well, I don't need to change that. It doesn't really hurt anything to have that in there. So I've got my, yep. All right, that looks good. Let's see. Could I have just done a... Did I have to do... Did I have to do that way? Couldn't I have just specified the neighbor interfaces and just done it that way? Probably it could have. The problem is if I have a ton of leaves and spines, the config gets pretty big. But I want to put an if statement in here. So if spine and inventory host name, and then close that out as else and if. So that way I don't create a pure filter unless it's a spine. Now it doesn't hurt if it's into the leaves because it's just not used, but it just keeps things a little more tidy. Now I could, so do I want to do the listen range? So let's try that, see if that works. Yeah. It's actually not too bad. I think I'll leave it that way. All right, so that's working for that. So that's the underlay for eBGP and eBGP unnumbered, which uses IPv6 addressing. I don't know if these configs actually work because they're only configlets. They're only parts of the config. I could put them into like CloudVision, but I don't think I'm going to do that. I wonder if it's I've got a couple of viewers. I wonder if it's UK people watching. It's way too late for East Coast unless you're really an insomniac. On the West Coast, it's 11 o'clock here, and I'm just kind of wired. So that's why I'm doing this now. I've got some time. I'm awake. Got everything else I needed to do today. Got my run in. Drinking my tea. It's not caffeinated, but caffeinated tea generally doesn't actually do anything to me. All right, so and then for the other parts of the underlay, I need I want to do OSPF. So the next one is OSPF, both numbered and unnumbered. I don't know why you would do unnumbered. Where is OSPF? Or I don't know why you would do numbered. So let's I will need to do, so this is underlay OSPF unnumbered. I could probably do something about how they would be I could be more I could do all active or non all active depending on if yeah. All right. Copy everything, put it over to here. This is stupid simple. Unnumbered is like the easiest. Yeah, don't need that. Don't need that. No BGP part. Just OSPF. And the area. Yeah, I think that's it. So for variables, I need SPR OSPF unnumbered, and it's IBGP all active. Try to do code numbers and stuff. So OSPF U all active. See if I build that. Well, build some configs. Yeah, this one's going to be the easiest. Look at that.
Actually, it's going to be super easy, barely an inconvenience.
Yeah, so that one was really easy. Let's do numbered. Do you? Yeah, I did that. So numbered means I'm going to give it a number. Should probably rename that to numbered there. So SPF numbered. SPF numbered IBGP. So basically, it gives IP addresses on all the interfaces. So instead of IP address unnumbered, we get IP address, and it pulls it from the YAML file. We have to switch the YAML file. I think that's the only difference. Yeah, so the build will be pretty much the same. So variables is OSPF numbered IBGP. Okay. So I just need to create this directory, underlay configs, underlay OSPF numbered, all active. That one was a pretty easy build as well. Got some IP addresses. Super easy, barely an inconvenience.
Actually, it's going to be super easy, barely an inconvenience.
And who loves you? And who do you love?
All right, I'm gonna be right back. The tea has gone right through me. I'll be right back. Gotta do a bio break. All right, that's taken care of. It's a nice 68 Fahrenheit out tonight. So I think it's 19 Celsius. Let's see if I'm right. $20 degrees Celsius. That was close. All right. So for the underlay, we've got OSPF and eBGP. Do I want to do an iBGP underlay? Is it even a thing? Maybe. Let's do ISIS. So we'll do that one next. So this would be underlay, ISIS. We'll do unnumbered. So I need the... No, what's this? That's IPv6 enabled. I don't think I got this right. All right, so that's the... So I'll just take it over from OSPF. No, that's numbered. OSPF unnumbered. What's that config look like? This. So it should be about the same, except I pull out the IP OSPF stuff. I forget how to... I don't use OSPF enough. I'm sorry, I don't use ISIS enough. I use OSPF all the time, but I don't use IS enough. I don't have it memorized. And it's slightly more complicated, mostly because we've got to pick net addresses. So it looks like I didn't actually do an ISIS underlay. So whenever I'm trying to do a template, I need to figure out how the configs work normally. So what I need to do is deploy original. So this should push the original configs to the devices. So if I go to leaf 1, no, it's all still there. If deploy original, replace config. How did it not? Oh, did I just freaking... Yep, I messed up there. Crud. All right, not a big deal. So what I can do is sudo container lab. I need the original config. So destroy. So it's going to kill all those, and then I'll do deploy and reconfigure. So it'll erase all the config that's on them. It blew apart all my Linux VM configs, but that's okay. Let's take a second for these to start up. So I'm going to repopulate the original config. There we go. So if I go to like admin at spine1, connection refused. It hasn't started up yet. There we go. So it's just basically got the management address in there. And that is fine. So I need to... There was something I wanted. So Ansible. There's something I was doing. It was in another playbook that I had. I don't have it here though. I have it on another system. Let's see if I can find it. Which system was that? 119? So there's a Linux utility called mlocate, and if you do mlocate and then do update db, basically it will do an index of every file in the system. So I can just do locate setup, grep YAML, grep playbooks. There's like a bunch of these. So there's a playbook I've set up. It basically does some setup. What I'm trying to do is I want a... There's a couple of like baseline things I want into the system. I thought I had it in here. There's none of these. So what was it? What device was it? 220. On this one? Yeah, I think it's on this one. Okay, 250. I have a lot of VMs doing a lot of different things. Setup nodes. This is it right here. This right here. Actually, yeah, let's do all this stuff. Call this setup nodes.yaml. Paste that. So adds a user, Tony. Then configures the authentication. So it drops me right into privilege exec. Okay. Playbook. Setup nodes. Okay, good. No, didn't go to the host, but that's okay. So now if I go to SSH Tony at leaf1, should drop me, yeah, no password, drops me right in. This I want as my default, as my backup. So Ansible playbook, deploy original. So this should just back up the configs as original. Yep, that's what I wanted. And then deploy configs. I'll just fix it so that deploy original pushes those configs and doesn't do a backup because I don't need it to do a backup. All right. Okay, we're good there. So now that they've got their base configs on there, now I can go into leaf1. Just get rid of all these windows here. Go to spine 1. Then go to leaf1. And configure ISIS. IP interface loopback 0, IP address 10.1.255.101. Back 0, IP address 10.1.255.1. So doing 1. Let's see. For loopbacks, yeah, it was doing 1. Okay. Just trying to remember my numbering convention. And then interface E3, IP address unnumbered, no switch port, IP address unnumbered, loopback 0. Interface E3, IP no switch port, IP unnumbered, address unnumbered, loopback 0. Now, router ISIS, call it underlay. router ISS underlay, router ID. Don't know how much it's used. Router ID IPv4 10.1.255.1. Router ID IPv4 10.1.255.101. I need to come up with a net address scheme for ISS. So my vars, I'm going to need a new var. So this would be net prefix. Or ISS net prefix. 49.000.000.000. Let's use that one. Because we need to come up with a net address. So net address, net 49.000.000.000.000.101.0.0. So basically I'm going to encode do net would be 0001, net 0002, net 0003, net 0004, net 00101, 0102. This is a way I could take the last octet of the loop back, but that would only scale if it were less than 255 addresses. Okay, so my template so IP address on number, that's good. So router ISAS underlay. Router ISIS underlay, and then router ID, IPv4, and then whatever that is, loopback 0. This one. Pulls loopback address there, and then net. So net would be global options. The net prefix. Get rid of that. Followed by that, and then this would be devices, inventory, host name, net, and I think it would be 00. So we need to assemble that net address. interface E3, ISIS enable, underlay, back 0, IS enable underlay, I think. See if that works. Interface E3, loopback 0. Oh, so that would be router ISIS underlay, address, family, IPv4, unicast, IP routing. Do I need to enable anything here? I don't think so. IP routing, router ISIS, and address family, IPv4, unicast. Show ISS neighbors. There we go. Oh, that's cool. Show IP route. Cool. I got the loopback via so it's all in the same area. I don't think I need to go much more crazy than an area, unless I do yeah, what is it? ISS areas. Yeah, level. They should all be a level 1. So there shouldn't be a different area. All right. So that was easy. That would be an underlay for that. So show run section ISS. I guess do I want to hard code in the name? I guess I could. It doesn't really. And then I need the loopbacks. Then address family IPv4 unicast. Simple enough. That should build me an ISIS config. Let's see if it will deploy that. So I need to configs. Underlay ISS unnumbered. Deploy pulled all this from this one, ISSU. EVGP? Okay. All right. P2P loopback. So we're looking for something called P2P loopback, and it wasn't in there. Okay, so I need to add that. So it would be OSPF unnumbered. Oh, yeah, just what loopback interface are we pulling this from? So I just need to throw this in here. Okay, let's try that again. There we go. Build the configs. I wonder if that would work. Huh. 65. Where did it get 65 from? Would this work? Invalid input. Crap. All right. How did I get that? Underlay ISIS. So it was the net address. Oh, it should be. All right, so. I must have taken it for hex. Let's try that. Yeah, I think it was taking it as a hex address. That's better. Yeah, it was converting it to a hex. All right, let's see if that would work there. Let's copy and paste it. ISIT instance underlay doesn't exist. That seemed to work okay. Cutting and pasting, copying and pasting configs is so 1999. Should really not be doing that in today's day and age. So that looks like that's good for the underlay for ISAS. Do I want to do a IBGP? Oh yeah, I want to do a numbered one. So that would go there. So where do I get those? I need to make a new variable file. I'll just copy this one. So rename this to ISIS unnumbered. ISS numbered. So I need that in there. Then that in there. P2P loopback. I also need to copy the net addresses. So like for leaf 1, that'll be net. That's why Arista AVD gives everyone an ID number so it can use that in an algorithm and generate these kind of addresses automatically. Two. So this one be numbered. So I need to make a directory. And build this. I'll try that. Build. All right, so it built something. See what it built. Yep, that looks like that would work as well. So all these different combinations of different underlay routing protocols, overlay routing protocols, etc. I think I'm just going to finish up the one more, the underlays. Should I do multicast? How am I going to encode that in there? I'm not going to worry about that until I get to more complete, because I need to be able to check PIM and all that stuff to make sure I can get to the multicast groups. And I won't be able to test that until I have the whole config, so I'm not going to do it then. Okay, but I will do IBGP, both numbered and unnumbered, in case we did IBGP for the underlay and overlay. Dude, not even a use case we would even do. Because I don't think AVD supports it. No, it doesn't. It does support IBGP as the overlay, but it doesn't do IBGP and IBGP for the underlay and overlay. Guess we could try it. It's not a big deal. Let's try it with numbered. It's pretty simple because we just have one AS number. So this would be pretty easy. Oh, am I doing unnumbered first? No, I'm doing numbered first. Oh yeah, this is right. Yeah, when I do numbered, I've got all this weird stuff. Did I have that in here? EBGP numbered. I've got to calculate the other side's IP address. Nope, I did. Okay. So IBGP numbered. It's a much simpler config. Yep, I think that would work. Let's see if those configs build. I didn't like that. What was my variables? Oh yeah, that. Nope, IBGP. Yeah, so I think I just called it IBGP. Yeah. All right, there we go. All right, those are the IP addresses. That looks good. And the neighbor is the opposite side. And activate. Okay, that looks good. And we'll do IBGP unnumbered. Nope, that's not the one. This one. All right. Let's copy this part. And the only difference here is instead of, yeah, also I think this. Goes to that. We don't need any of these end ifs. And it's not. IBGP EOS. That's it. Yep, that should do it. I probably made some mistakes in the configs, but that's okay. Can figure those out later. IBGPU, IBGP. So I can't really test the configs right now. Until I have complete configs to test. That looks like that would work. All right, so I've got, for the underlay, I've got just about all the combos that I would do. So I've got underlay, OSPF, numbered and unnumbered, ISAS, numbered and unnumbered, IBGP and EBGP, numbered and unnumbered. Yeah, that's about it. Okay. I think that's a good stopping point. If you're watching, hope you enjoyed. And then another point, I will go in and start doing the overlay. And so mostly that'll be EBGP, but sometimes it'll be IBGP too. Actually, only one case it'll be. Oh, yeah. for OSPF. Yeah. But we're making it modular so I could mix and match. But the underlays are done except for the MLAG stuff. Because with the MLAG stuff, I'll have to do all the underlays again, and then I'll have to peer them. Well, that'll be kind of annoying. But okay,